Welcome, everybody, to a new series where I have been working on improving my mastery at painting. And over the past year and a half, I've really done well at creating a daily habit of painting. Uh, where I have really struggled is to paint from my imagination. So, over the next year, I'm really going to be challenging myself to paint from my own images. This way, I can really truly be inspired and inspire others as an artist. In the last month, I have really had a hard time finding the time and energy. So, in my day job, I work as an architect and I do painting in my free time as a hobby. And some of the problems that I have run into, and many other people that do their loved work as a hobby, they get drained by their daily activities. So, for example, I started a new work project. I have a new customer, a new team, new expectations, a new process, a whole bunch of new stress. And I've really been struggling with this new set of problems and balancing my creative work. Since I have been struggling with finding the time or energy, it's really been hard for me to shift my focus from my new work project and stay disciplined on my creative projects. So instead, whenever I do get some free time, I fall into old bad habits of maybe catching up on news or, playing with my fun gadgets. So here's a few things that I've really been practicing on that has been helping me get through this time of stress and help me stay creative. The first thing that I do is really stay engaged with my passion for Christ. I never get tired of praying and singing and reading scripture. All of these really help me reset and establish time of meditation that allows me to disconnect from the stress and shifts me into a more creative state. So by really spending time with Jesus, it gives me that strength that I don't necessarily believe that I have to create, to exercise, to film, to write, all the things that I really love doing. So as I do these things, spend time with Jesus, it really helps me from being stressed. It reminds me to rejoice and have faith that I'll get through it. I've learned to manage stress by negotiating and communicating expectations. For example, if a new person that I haven't worked with comes to me with an urgent request, I'll respond to that when I'm available. This way, it really sets the expectation of my availability. And if that person is still persistent on delivering a timeline that I'm uncomfortable with, this is when I will work with my leadership to really come up with a reasonable timeline to work with. The other area that I really work on is focusing on what I believe to be valuable. I've been in enough positions and roles to really understand the amount of effort that I put in is valuable. And this really helps me stay confident in the amount of work that I put in each day. And if that amount of work is not meeting the expectations of my employer, then I know that it's probably better to find a different role in which I am a match. So I realize that these things come and go, but over the long haul, it's really to stay steady throughout these stressful projects. And this way, I can stay in a sustainable workflow when it comes to needing downtime or time for my creative projects. In the past month, I have been able to implement these stress management techniques, and I have been able to continue my daily drawing and also be able to work on my drawing from imagination. It is the season of Advent, and I have been choosing to draw a different scene of baby Jesus each day, whether it's a nativity scene or some reflection of the arrival of Jesus at Christmas. After a couple weeks of doing this, I was drawing with my 5-year-old daughter, and I was really inspired how she was drawing from her imagination. She didn't care how good or bad it was. She just loved drawing. And this really helped me start to transition and inspire me to now draw from my imagination. As I got started, it was a ton of fun. And what I realized was all of the images that I was creating from reference the past couple weeks was now starting to mix together from my memory, and I was able to create some of my own images. And this reminded me of previous ways of learning. For example, I went through some building of new skill sets and through software development, and doing some learning by repetition, I started to recognize patterns. I started to see similar problems and solutions. And that's what we're doing as we're painting. We're seeing problems and we're coming up with solutions. And through that repetition of muscle memory, you start to get the basics and foundations of drawing facial features and others. And I realized that I was able to do this in drawing. It was just going to take some time. And as I got through this, then I started to recall those favorite features that I was really passionate about over the past couple weeks and continued building on them. After a few weeks now, I am really happy with my progress during the season of Advent. I'll continue to hold fast on my stress management and give myself space to create. Otherwise, I won't find that time and energy. And that's really, truly what keeps me inspired, is to work on my creative projects and share those with everyone here. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments, and I look forward to see you in the next video. So long.